All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Monday morning. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. I pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin is breaking out and backtesting this wedge, this rising wedge, guys, right from the dang trade setup that we gave in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Setup given, trade taken, profits locked in, baby, and we are currently hoping to ride this thing up. Also, we are long from the setup given in the Casper Crew from 115, 157, baby. And look at this bull flag that we've got drawn here. Are we going to pump to 150, or are we in serious danger? Maybe the bears are right. I mean, look, I'm such a weak-minded man that every time I read something on Twitter, I completely change my view and my thumbnails on YouTube. We're going to be talking about it today. Make sure to smash up the likes, guys. As usual, if we can get 1,000 likes within the first 30 minutes of the stream, we will be giving away 1,000 United States tethers. All right? We all love tether. We love our crypto being tethered to the fiat. That's why we got into crypto in the first place, right? Satoshi would be proud of us. Got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, major shout out to Joe Potter, who says long and strong, baby. God bless you, Joe Potter, man. Good to see you here. Shout out to Crypto Tom. God bless you, bro. Great to see you here. And a major shout out to Crypto Coons. Amazing to see you here. May God bless you, brother. Good to see you here. Shout out to Mr. Whale. Says Jay is bullish. Shout out to Kevin Van Hackensdock, who says, let's go 150K, please. We're going to do a giveaway, Kevin? Look, man, call your mom, say, hey, Ma, look, there's this guy on the internet. He's on a treadmill. I don't have time to explain, but just go like the video, because if 1,000 people like it in half an hour, he's going to give away $1,000, all right? He seems crazy. But, you know, could be worth it. Shout out to Jennifer Mo Fit. She's Mo Fit than all y'all. I'm on a treadmill. She's streaming from a dang Stairmaster. Shout out to Timo and Cranky Fandles. I like that. Cranky Fandles instead of Frankie Candles. That's so funny. I like that. I like that. I like that. Shout out to Frankie Candles too. Sup peep. ETH bear divs everywhere with a daily green dot to mess with your mind. We'll be talking about ETH, honestly. Coolest pump treadmill ever. Man, we got the pump treadmill, all right? We got the pump and we got the treadmill at the same time. All right, shout out to Adarsh CR. I'm here just to listen to the pump song. Let's see if we can get it today. Shout out to RPM. Shout out to Two Big Paws. Shout out to Jacob Wilson, who says Lamboni time. Is that the thing they use to like clean the ice hockey rink? Or is that a Zamboni? Or am I totally off on that? Shout out to Investment Time. Shout out to Rakesh. And shout out to Seth Shepard. And shout out to Tina D and Heather, CME Gapperoni and Queso. ETH 4K today. Yeah, look, look, ETH is hitting our target that we've had for a long time, which is 4K. 4K is the mother of all resistance for Ethereum. All right, 4K is the mother of all resistance for Ethereum. All right. Now we're long, baby. I'm chilling up here in 3 Bitcoin longs right now. We're about $200,000 deep. And of course, this week I'm looking to add a lot more. I mean, look, if you're already 200K deep, might as well go deeper, right? Best investment advice I ever heard. Man, you already got a lot in? Hey, might as well put in more, baby. All right? You know, stop losses. Come on, man. Who needs those anyway? You know what I'm saying? Who needs them anyway? All right, let's pop on over to the chart. And before we pop on over to the chart, I do need to shout out the sponsors of the channel. First of all, WEEX. WEEX right now, great deal on fees and all this good stuff on WEEX. Here's a picture showing all the cool stuff you can get, which can't be accessed right now, but that's okay. All right, you get discounted fees and it's awesome. Also, we got to shout out BLOFIN. BLOFIN right now, 20% cash back. Whole bunch of cool stuff. Also, we got to shout out KCEX. The other exchange I'm currently trading on, KCEX, guys. Been scalping on it, extremely low fees, love it. Also, look, if you know how to trade but you have no money, check out Klein funding, because you can get these funded crypto prop firm accounts very cheap, and I have 15 and 25% discounts in the description. And if you want to join the Casper Crew, where we give the trade setups in advance, and me and 3 instructors let you know what we're doing, not what you should do. you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link to join the best trading community in the world. Now, let's pop into the Bitcoin chart first. Because honestly, guys, and I gotta be real, things are down to the wire. Things are down to the wire on the Bitcoin chart because we've got ourselves something that we've been waiting for. We have got ourselves something that we've been waiting for a long time. Now, if y'all remember, we were talking about Bitcoin saying, look, what we need right now is we need a green dot to print and confirm on the daily. We have gotten last night, all right, the weekly close gave us a green dot on the daily, okay? Now, market Cipher be on the weekly time frame. I do believe there's more upside here. Yes, we're starting to see the waves come together, but they are not touching yet. It looks like we could still get another push to the upside. All right, our 2-day, look at the money flow on the 2-day, guys. Money flow getting thick on the 2-day. Daily has confirmed the green dot. Money flow getting thicker on the daily. Makes me think we're gonna break out of this and see another high. All right, now remember, we have pumped up and we have broken out of a massive range here. All right, this is very important for context. For the last 8 months, we're trading within this sideways range right here, where the fair value of Bitcoin was considered anything below 90,000 is cheap Bitcoin. Anything above 109,000 Bitcoin is considered expensive. Then what happened is we printed a very bullish signal down here as we came down to the trend line of the entire bull market, right? So entire bull market trend line, very bullish signal down here, all right? Look, and this, you know, I know it's so easy to do hindsight trading, but on the Jason Casper YouTube channel, we did foresight trading. You see this trend line? You see this trend line and how we got the bounce from that level? Back in those days, guys, same trend line. We were talking about how this is extremely bullish and we're gonna pump and make a new all-time high. All right, so this ain't no hindsight analysis. This was future sight analysis that we were talking about. So now we're gonna continue the narrative because the thing about trading is you're building these narratives based on the market structure and the data that's on the chart, right? So down here, based on our data, we're expecting new all-time highs. The new all-time highs have happened, which means our narrative was correct. So now we can continue to build upon that bullish narrative because right now there's no reason to be bearish yet, right? Could there be a reason to be bearish in a little bit? Yeah, but right now there's not. Okay, right now there's not. Let's check out our monthly. Coming to the month, man, the month looks like she has more upside. 2-week looks like she has more upside. We pretty much, I have to say, man, things look like there is potential for upside. Look at the money flow on the 12-day. Look at that money flow on the 2-day, man. The money flow on the 2-day. It looks like she wants to give us another push to the upside here. All right. Now, we've broken out, and essentially, as long as we're holding above 109,000, this is objectively speaking a very bullish chart. There's no weakness here, and the reason is because we have made a new swing high. We've made a new swing high, and we've confirmed 3 weekly candles above that last swing high. So we have 3 weeks of confirmation that this uptrend is indeed continuing. And the biggest push down that we got, which happened last week, we bounced from the like highest area of support that we had. Right? Where did we come down to? We took the liquidity, basically just a stop hunt of everybody who had longed up here, expecting the next big push really soon. We spent time building liquidity. What do I mean by that? You know, people put their stop losses here, they put their stop losses here, they put their stop losses here, they put their stop losses here. And so the market makers, they just stopped everybody out so that they could build themselves a good long position, and now they're pushing us back up toward the top of the range. All right, now also when we take a look at this chart, what are we seeing? We are seeing, take a trend line across this area, we are seeing basically a breakout and retest right now of this trend line. And you might say this looks like a rejection, but I'd say this has the potential to be a back test. What I mean by that is this. We did come above the trend line. We held above for a little bit. Now we're back below. If we can come up again, this is going to be a breakout and a back test, right? It's going to be a breakout and a back test. This could really give us that opportunity to know where, you know, our stop loss should go, and then boom, we could shoot for a higher target. When we look at time frames like the 4 hour, it looks like, obviously, we printed the red dot, but look at the money flow. All right, it's continuing to get thicker. Look at this yellow oscillator, continuing to get thicker. I think that the next green dot that we print on our 4 hour is going to give us a big push. And the reason I say that is because we've just confirmed the daily green dot. All right, so the daily time frame is giving us bullish momentum. Then we come down to the 4 hour time frame, and it needs to cool off a little bit. So the high time frames say bullish. The medium time frame says we need to cool off a little bit, which means when we cool off and when we get that next green dot, wherever it is, that's going to give us continued money flow direction, continued momentum direction after a very oversold bottom right here as we came down to key support, right? So in my opinion, things do look bullish. Now that does not mean, let me just be very clear, that does not mean to take a long trade now on leverage. Okay, if you are leverage trading, you need to have a plan for your next position, for your next entry. You need to have a plan for that. You cannot just long because you're bullish on leverage. That's a one-way ticket to getting wrecked. All right, you need to have a plan, and then if your plan meets the criteria, then you can take the trade, right? Like in the Casper crew, that's how we do it, right? We have a plan. We have a plan with some criteria. If the criteria meets, then we can take a trade. And that's actually how you're going to get those really juicy not long levels, but those really juicy entries in general. Let's see something real quick here. There we go. That's how you're going to get those long levels in general, those trade levels in general, right? You're going to have to plan for them, right? You're going to have to plan for them. Like we planned for that stop hunt, right? We were already planned for it. So it's like, Jay, how do you get those good entries? It's like, okay, if I'm bullish, I think to myself, okay, I'm bullish. I want to move up, but where would I like to get in? And I can't just get in now at this instance. Why? I can't just buy in the middle of nowhere. You want to buy low, right? So if I'm bullish, low, in that context is going to be a fake out of the triangle, right? And that's exactly what happened. We got the fake out of the triangle, and when we did, I was ready and prepared to get into that trade, right? So that's exactly what we need to be looking at this now with the same mentality, because people get wrecked watching a dang YouTube video where the guy's like, man, we're bullish, and I think by the end of the year, 500K, man. They might be right, but on the way there, we might be zooping all around the place, and you get liquidated 5 times and lose everything you have. So if you're trying to leverage trade, man, be careful. I'm just saying, if you want to learn that, check out the free trading course I got on YouTube. All right, on YouTube, we got the best trading course right here for free. I'm pretty sure this is the best free trading course on YouTube. All right. Do you know why it's the best? Because you got the ICT stuff where you have to literally waste 15,000 years of your life listening to him babble on about who knows what by the time he freaking tells you what to do. Then you got a whole bunch of other stuff out there. They're not really going to teach you in order how to trade. They're going to give you a little piece here, a little piece there, and you're going to have to put them together, right? And probably lose a whole bunch of money in the meantime. Or you got this free course where I give it to you step by step. Lay the foundation and build upon the foundation in order, all right? Check it out. It's totally free on the Jason Casper YouTube channel, all right? Now, let's talk over here. Use stop loss only when needed. Man, who needs a stop loss anyway? Guys, make sure to like the stream. We got 800 people in here, 200 likes. Do you really use a stop loss? Come on, man. Look, stop losses are essential. Okay, they're essential in all seriousness. Okay, so what are we looking at here locally for a breakout? What would we like to see? We're going to pull our volume here. All right, we're going to pull our fibs from the low to the high. I would say this right now, the best place to look for a long trade on Bitcoin right now is going to have to be if we come back down to the zone at the historic support, okay? So we're talking about the level support that we basically held here around 117. We'll give it 115, 116 to 117. 116 to 117. Why is this going to be the place? This is going to be the place because locally here, like within the context, when we are bullish, but within this bullish context, Bitcoin being undervalued is going to happen between 116 and 117. That's where Bitcoin will be considered undervalued. And also that will give us our nice shoulder, head, shoulder for the pump. And this would give the 4-hour time to cool off and give us that trigger wave there to give us that pump in the context of the green dot. All right. Now, if we don't hold this box, then we can say, okay, more downside is probable. And then we can be looking back down to the box at 109-ish, right? We're basically would be looking for a retest of these old highs here. Okay, 109-ish, 110. Let's just say 110. That's the number everyone likes to talk about, 110. All right. If we don't hold this box, 110 is the most probable because then we've already had the stop hunt and, you know, a nice bottom formed. And so this would be the make it or break it level, right? This is really going to be the make it or break it zone where if you're looking for a long on Bitcoin today, tomorrow, you know, this is the make it or break it zone, right? It's a very clear, good place to look where if we're shooting for our next technical target around 130,000, that's a beautiful risk to reward ratio right there. We're risking 1 to make 5.5, risking $1 to make $5.50. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now I am feeling bullish. I do feel like Bitcoin is going to break out, but right now my line in the sand for my bullish bias will end if we lose this green box I've drawn in the chart right here, and we're going to call it 116 to 117. 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 All right. Am I still long from Friday? Is that the long from 115? Was that on Friday? Yes, I'm still long from Friday. I'm holding it. I'm hodling. Keep holding. What? Keep holding. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm still in the trade from Friday. Look, I'm treating these longs like I'm just taking little bits and chunks of profits along the way here, man. And I'm holding these because I am bullish. So I'm not taking out too much profits. Look, I'm already up mid 5 figures from these long trades I've got open, right? Technically right now, this trade 15 grand, this trade 30 grand, this trade right now I'm up another 5 grand. So we're up $45,000 right now, and realized profits were up about 30 something grand. So I'm already made over $30,000 here on these trades only. All right, that doesn't include the trades that I've already closed out, like the one from 100K I've closed out after realizing about, I think when that thing closed out was around, it was less than 10K, but it was more than 5K, right? So I'm still like, I have no reason to close these trades. I've already made money. If all of a sudden all the trades were stopped out now and I made like 40 grand or whatever, I cannot be upset about that. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, that's a lot of money, okay? I don't know about y'all, but for me, that's a lot of money. I don't have bills, all right? I don't have a car payment, don't have a house payment, don't have an electric bill, don't have a water bill. I grow my own dang food. I don't feed my chickens because they free range out in the woods. All right? So for me, that's a lot of money, okay? But, so I'm not going to be upset about that at all. You know what I'm saying? If I was paranoid about the money, yeah, I would close. But because it's okay for me to be greedy right now because I've already made the money. You know what I'm saying? Keep holding. What? Yeah. Man, that takes me back. That takes me back to like 2001. I used to listen to that song with my friends. We used to go out, ride our ride our bikes, trying to do whatever they call on the bike, and our skateboards, trying to do those tricks that Tony Hawk does. I don't even know what they're called because I could never do any of those things, but I tried. I quickly realized that wasn't my gift. I didn't find my true talent until I got a treadmill. Then I realized, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I felt real cool. You know, I'd be walking, showing off my tricks to all the ladies. You know, I see some pretty ladies as I'm walking down the street. I'd start doing my walking tricks. They couldn't help. But look, then I did this one, really got them. Whew. Whew. You know, pretend like I don't notice them. That's the thing. Ladies want you to pretend like you don't notice them, you know? That's my true talent, you know? We got a shout out to Eddie in the chat. Shout out to Eddie in the chat. Make sure to smash the likes, by the way, guys. Yeah, so look, and pretty much we're still in the range. So same deal. As long as we're holding above this level here. Uh-oh, yeah. As long as we are holding above this level here, this green box, around, let's call it 110, we are bullish. The trend is bullish. We have confirmed bullish market structure. We have 3 weeks of bullish confirmation. Basically, we have 3 days left, guys. 3 days left for monthly confirmation of a big bullish trend. All right. Now, let's take a look at a few other things. First of all, let's check out the CME chart. All right. Let's see if we have a gap here. Now, keep in mind, the gap that everybody and their mom was talking about last week was this. We had our CME gap at about 114,000 if you count the wick. About 113.8 if you count the candle body. And of course, entering into that gap right here at about 115.6. If you notice, last week we didn't fill the gap even though everyone was waiting for it. What we did do is we tapped the gap and then got to move to the upside. And people were talking in the chat on Friday about, hey, maybe we front run the gap and leave everybody on the sidelines. It's looking more likely that the gap was front run. But keep in mind, this is the CME futures chart right here, which means we do in fact have a sideways range to trade. So I know the Bitget chart, we really took that liquidity, but on the futures chart we didn't, right? On the futures chart we made a double bottom. So we still need to be prepared for a move down into this gap, potentially filling the gap. That's also going to be an area where locally we look for a bounce in the first few days of this week. And the reason is because we have ourselves a clearly defined sideways range here, right? It's way more sideways and clearly defined on the futures market than it is on the inverse perpetual market. So make sure you're keeping an eye on this chart also this week, because we could very easily get a fake out here. And then if we come back above the level, you know, that's going to be pretty dang bullish in my opinion, because of the daily, because of the 4 hour, because of the context of the market, because of the fact that we have 3 weeks of bullish confirmation above the big breakout, right? But we don't have a CME gap to fill now, right? We closed our Friday candle at 119.8. Monday's candle opened. We dipped down a little bit just to like touch that body, and now boom, we're holding above. So there's nothing really to look for. This week we have to look at the one that goes back to the very beginning of July. That happened Thursday the 10th of July, and then Friday we opened up pretty dang bullish like that. All right, and let's go back to our Bitcoin chart one more time here. Here we go. Let me check something real quick here. All right, we got some excellent condition. Yeah, CDW equals chickens drinking water. That's what it equals. Let me see something real quick here. Yeah, we're good. I think we're good. I think we are good. Yeah, so I'm looking to see this I'm looking to see this next 4 hour dot here. And we are going to be doing a VIP live stream in the Casper crew in a little bit this morning, where I'm going to be going over my exact trading plans and where I'm looking for my trades. All right, in the Casper crew, best trading community in the world. Every single day, 3 times a day. During the week, we have one of our instructors. They do a live stream of the live trading. They mark out their trades, their plans. If they see a trade in the video, they'll let you know if they take one. I mean, it's not financial advice. I let people know if I'm taking a trade, if I'm there. I let people know if I'm not taking a trade also. If I give a setup and we're there, I let people know I'm not going to take this trade. For example, we were prepared to take a short on Friday, but I told people I'm not taking the short, even though it's possible setup with good risk to reward. I was going to wait for higher simply because there were too many bullish things, right? So we're going to be doing a live stream there, jasoncaspertrading.com. Click the link to join the best trading community in the world as we are getting the breakout in the back test of this. Now, I want to talk about Ethereum, all right? I sound like Divine Hood? Really? That's interesting. Shout out to Divine Hood, by the way. We tickled the gap. Yeah, we tickled the gap. Shout out to Lucky Jim Bob. Are we going to fill the gap, says Crypto Tom? Maybe, maybe. Michael Saylor hasn't even bought yet, and Bitcoin absorbed all the sell pressure. That's true. Didn't we see like $80 million of selling? And the price of Bitcoin hardly moved. Shout out to John Ploney, by the way. God bless you, John Ploney. All right, let's take a look at ETH, because ETH, I think, is about to get a big move. I know some people in the chat are bearish on Ethereum, and I understand why. I mean, look at this disgusting. Look at this disgusting. Oh my goodness. Look at this disgusting price action on ETH, man. And honestly, I can see why some people would be bearish, because we have just taken that trend line. But you know what this reminds me of, honestly, guys? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of what happened to Bitcoin on Friday. You know, what do we see on Friday? We got that bounce, and then we had this kind of weird thing happening here, right? We had this weird kind of like gross, disgusting channel, and then we got a fake out of it right here. But then what? You know, it didn't really amount to much. That's kind of what this reminds me of here. But this looks actually way uglier, because this happened over the weekend, like completely over the weekend, and we are losing that trend line right now. But here's a few things that we need to just be aware of on ETH here. We'll start in our weekly time frame. This is probably, and I know some of y'all gonna be haters. Some of y'all gonna hate, but this is probably the most bullish chart we've ever seen for Ethereum ever. The reason why I say this is because, all right, we have this trend line. All right, look at this, man. And we're going to draw this thing exact, all right? We're going to draw this thing as exact as possible right now. We're not going to use any kind of guesswork here. This is our trend line going all the way back to 2021. We had 1-2 taps. We had a fake out. A real good fake out here, because not only did we get the candle close above, but we got the back test and then the swing failure pattern, right? But now we're back above. We have 1-2 weeks confirmed. We have a breakout. We have a back test of this trend line. And not only that, but you know, if you've been following the channel, I've been calling for a $4,000 ETH for a very long time. And the reason for me calling for the $4,000 ETH is because we reclaimed 2,700. 2,700 is the value area low of this range, which means anything below here, ETH is considered undervalued. And if we come back inside here, the probabilities are highest that we come up to $4,000. Now, when we come up to $4,000, which we're just about to tickle, that is going to be, basically, I mean, think about this. This is going to be a massive big fake out, and then breakout scenario with an inverted head and shoulders, right? Basically, you could look at this already as an inverted head and shoulders, something like that. All right, we hold above $4,000. This is a massive breakout of a multi-year trend line, and I think we're going to see Ethereum shoot very fast, very fast, up to around 5,500. All right, and people are not going to be ready for it. because everybody is like in the mentality that ETH is dead. But we have the monthly time frame here. Actually, let's go to the 2-month right now. Look at the 2-month time frame on ETH, guys. Look at the 2-month. All right, we're printing a green dot on the 2-month. Look at the monthly. We have confirmed a green dot on the monthly. Last month, historically speaking, this only happens in bear markets to print a green dot below the zero line. Only happens in bear markets. We're seeing it happen in a bull market. We go to our 12-day. This is basically our half-month time frame. We are seeing the money flow starting to get thicker. We're seeing a nice oversold bottom here. Nice oversold bottom. Money flow getting thicker. We go to our 1-week time frame here, and look at the money flow on the 1 week. The money flow has crossed from the purple into the blue. Let's zoom in. That money flow cross is going to be powerful. It's taking some time to play out, but I believe that money flow cross is going to be powerful. And the main level to break right now is going to be our $4,000 level. And we're consolidating below it, which is bullish. All right, this is bullish. We've had plenty of time now to reject from this trend line. Look what happened 3 weeks. We close, we try to back test, close purple, swing failure pattern, all the way down in a week. Right now, we are just consolidating here, as Bitcoin is also holding above its range and consolidating. This, to me, is pretty dang bullish. All right, let's go to our 4-hour time frame on ETH here. Let's check out market Cipher B. Okay, so we do have some bearish divergence on market Cipher B here on the 4-hour. We do have some bearish divergence here. So it does make me think that we could give back some of this weekend price action. All right, so let's zoom in even more on ETH here and take a look at this local range. Because we're bullish, let's take a look at the volume here. Let's go ahead and pull some fib, see what we'd be interested in here. Yeah, okay, cool. So I would have to say, based on all things considered here, we are looking at the back test of this support resistance flip. Now, let me clear off the chart just to get rid of some of the noise here. All right, I'm gonna remove that. You can see, even without all the volume and Fibonacci stuff, resistance, resistance, support, support, consolidation, support, and then this disgusting trend line of liquidity here, right? Which means there are lots of stop losses below here. People high leverage, longing ETH with their stop losses trailed. We start to lose this and we can get a very fast and quick move back down to here. All right, and this is now our historic support. That's going to be around 30. You know, look, it's a zone, but I'm going to say 3,600. It's you know, this is not exact. If you want exact, jump into the Casper Crew VIP live stream. All right, I'll be charting ETH today. I'll be charting Bitcoin and ETH today. This is going to be the place really where we would look for basically a giant stop hunt, and then a move up to break out of 4,000. This actually, even just a trip up to 4,000 from here is a pretty good risk to reward. I mean, we're talking about 5 times more reward than risk if we're looking for that kind of stop hunt at 4,000. And then of course, you know, we break 4,000, we hold above, and we're off to the horse races, man. That's the noise that horses make, if you know what I mean. That's the noise that horses make. Make sure to smash the like, because we got over 1,000 people in the house and only 1 like. 1,000 people in the house and only 1 like. Gotta give a major shout out to Splash Rock Films. He says blessings in the name of Jesus. May the Lord Jesus bless you all. Shout out to HFG. Shout out to Mr. Jerk King. If we're all God's children, what's so special about Jesus? Jesus is God. Jesus is God who took on flesh. All right. Jesus is God himself who entered into his creation in a human body. All right. So the eternal, uncreated God without ever ceasing to be what he had always been, which is the eternal, uncreated God. At a point in our history, he became something which he had never been, which is he entered his creation in a human body that was born through a woman. That's what's different about him. He lived a sinless life, and he died a death on behalf of all humanity to pay for the sin of humanity, so that humanity could be reunited with God, so that we could exist in the state which humanity was originally created to live in, which is no separation between us and our Creator. When God created man, he walked with them in fellowship, pure, unadulterated fellowship and communion and relationship. And that relationship was severed because man that was created in God's image to reflect God's image on the earth became distorted. And so that created a separation. And so Jesus restored that, which is why in scripture, in prophetic scriptures, we see that eventually God himself will dwell with man again because of what God himself did to restore that relationship. That's what's different. That's what is different. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Let's check out Cardano. How's Cardano doing? Not bad. Not bad. Look, this is our plan of Cardano. I think it still looks pretty good. Look, we got ourselves the cup and handle, the breakout. This is the daily time frame. Look at the money flow on the daily. Looks to me, look at that money flow getting thick here. This next green dot, in my opinion, on Cardano is going to give us a big pump and a breakout of the value area high. And once we reclaim 97 cents on Cardano, we are going to have a fast and quick rally. We're probably going to come right up to $3. Really fast. Because this right here, when we take a look at the Cardano chart, this is a whole bunch of short liquidity right here. That is going to be a fast and easy squeeze. Alright, that is going to be a fast and easy squeeze. Yeah, Cardano's a slug, right? But look, that's the thing. Like, these sleeping giants are going to wake up. And all of a sudden, people are going to be paying attention. All the people that have given up on crypto are going to be paying attention. These altcoin charts are looking so dang bullish right now. They are looking so dang bullish right now. Let's take a look at XRP, actually, because did XRP not hit a new all-time high? I know that BNB hit a new all-time high. Wow, yeah, we hit a new all-time high. Did we get a back test of that area? Let's check it out here. Let's see. We were looking at this a while ago for like the best possible entry on XRP. Remember, these entries, we're not saying it's going to go there. We're saying we do need to be prepared for these types of things. Alright? But let's just check this out now. That's obviously going to be the juiciest level for XRP because we would take all the liquidity, right? All these stop losses and bounce. Let's analyze this little zone here. Right here, just look at this. Wow, okay, so we're currently bouncing from value area low. Confluence with the Fibonacci golden pocket. And that happened on Friday. That happened on Thursday, I'm sorry. So yeah, this could be a bottom right now. We are at resistance, the local support resistance flip. All right, so look at this. We're bouncing from the golden pocket, support resistance flip down here. We're finding resistance up here at, let me guess, local 618 Fibonacci, support resistance flip. So we reclaimed 335, and we are back inside this little range here just locally. We reclaimed 335. It's going to be easy for us to come back up to $3.60. That's going to be pretty easy. Let's see if we have any news today. I'm going to go to Forex Factory. I'm not certain if we have news today. Let's check it out. What day is today? The 28th, my goodness. That's insane. How is this possible? How does time go by so quick? Wow, we have nothing today? Is today a holiday? Hang on. Is this right? Guys, tell me if I'm crazy or not. Tell me if I'm crazy or not. I look like I have a black eye. Yeah, it's the shadow. Shout out to Rad Pro. God bless you, man. I see nothing for today. What about the lawsuit against the Fed? I don't know, man. I honestly haven't really been paying attention to these types of things. I'm talking more like news, like just like things that are happening in the financial world. Sui just got dumped. Is that true? Sui, that coin is honestly, I think. Well, let's take a look at Sui real quick here. I know you guys can't see yet. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Sui is not dumping, man. Sui, are you kidding me? Sui is not dumping. Sui is backtesting major support resistance flip right now. Alright, Sui is backtesting major support resistance flip. Alright. We got our bounce from the fib zone. This is, in my opinion, this is looking good. You know, one of our bullish scenarios here is a breakout and a backtest of this trend line. Looks like this is what's happening. Alright. Sui is not dumping. Alright. We are not dumping. Now, I know we have a local swing failure pattern here. We don't have a bearish divergence on the daily. We do have... we do have some slight bear div here on the 4. Money flow and momentum. But we hold above that trend line, guys, and it's good. We hold above the trend line, and it's good. We lose the trend line, that would be an opportunity, in my opinion, because this coin does look really good. Right? We have, look, this level here, $4.30 is a very key level. It's a very key level. All right? Just look at the whole structure of this, by the way. We have our horizontal support, breakout, and now back test. And we're consolidating in a triangle here after a bullish breakout. So this whole entire thing right here is bullish structure, in my opinion. And let's go to the weekly. Look at the weekly, man. Look at that weekly. Money flow thick. Nice trigger wave here. I think there's more room to the upside on this. I think what happens here is going to be very, very key. It dumped on the 1 second. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Shout out to Infanti. What's going on? God bless you. Shout out to Yowzer Dinkosaurus. Do I trade gold? I don't trade gold, but I hold gold for sure. For sure. You just got some Beam. Man, I should check on Beam. I haven't checked on Beam for a long time. Beam X. Yeah. I did get some of that in 2023. What's a possible entry on AVAX? Look, I'm bullish on AVAX in general. So I don't know what's happened really to AVAX over the weekend. But let's check it out here. Have we pumped? Yeah, we're pumping, man. So look, I mean, honestly, I think I think even now is a good entry because that's going to give us a 10, almost a a 9-to-1 risk-reward ratio to previous all-time highs, okay? Of course, when we were down in this box, this is when I was saying this is like the most obvious, amazing buy. But even now, of course, this is not for leverage, unless you're using 1x or 1.5x. Really, don't use anything more than 1.5x on this, because our invalidation is a 50% drop, which means 2x leverage would liquidate you. But the risk reward is 9 times more upside than downside for previous all-time highs. If we break out of here, let's say we hit a $300 AVAX, 20 times more upside than downside here. We break this trend line, it's going to be a fast move back up to all-time highs. And then I expect a higher high. The weekly looks great. Multiple drive of bull div on the high time frame stuff. Alright? So, you know, if you haven't been getting in while we were down in this box, obviously you have lost some, but not much. We're still towards support here. We're getting back toward the middle of the range where it becomes kind of like not the best, but I think AVAX right now even still is a good buy on spot. On spot, at least. What about the NFTs this year? I mean, look, we're probably going to get some Ethereum NFTs. Look, all these things are bullish in the short term for the Bitcoin price and the other prices of the altcoins. All right. What do I think about Crow? I think Crow's good. You know, shout out to Mr. Whale. And shout out to Jesse, who says, today's news, U.S. Treasury's quarterly refunding announcement, Sailor expected to announce Bitcoin purchase. Interesting. Okay, so we got some stuff that could play out with some volatility. Alright guys, I'm going to head over to the Casper crew, do a VIP New York Open stream over there. So we'll be doing some low time frame analysis, looking for juicy ninja entries. So if you want to follow along, continue on, go to jasoncaspertrading.com. I'm going to head out, y'all. May God bless everybody in Jesus' name. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.